Greetings, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for yet another interview. We're continuing, man, with this exciting series that we have, being joined by the players that are part of the FNB Varsity Player Experience. Today, we are joined by Camagu from all the way from Queenstown, but you are at the University of Pretoria. How are you, sir?
Good, thanks. How are you and yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Listen, thank you very much, firstly, for joining us and sharing your story with us. Camagu, I'm going to ask you, man, as somebody from the Eastern Cape, Queenstown, I know Queenstown is quite famous for their rugby and the people that run.
Yeah.
Itiski, where did you start playing Itiski?
Well, originally, I was born in Soweto.
Sure.
And I grew up in Soweto.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where my soccer career started.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And when you look back, playing Itiski, who are some of your role models growing up in football?
There were many of my role models. My role models were obviously growing up in Soweto in Orlando. With Orlando Pirates in the picture. So most people used to be supporters of Orlando Pirates. So at the time, Dentley was playing, Kemet Erasmus. So those were the people that were my role models that I looked up to. And I was like, yeah, I want to be where they are.
And today, you sit in the Varsity Player Experience, having the opportunity to train with professional players, to also learn and have conversations with previous players, former players that share some valuable advice with them. Before we get to the experience itself, I want us to go back to the FNB Varsity Football Competition. You played for the University of Pretoria there. How was that experience for you?
It was a very good experience. It was very, very nice, very competitive, learned a lot of new things. It was my first competition, my first Varsity Cup competition. And for me, I'd like to say that I enjoyed it, which is the most important thing. And I learned very important things. And yeah, I feel as if it really motivated me in life to do more and to do better.
And when you look at the competition, what's that one game now when you sit and look into that competition and you're like, yeah, I won a late game. This is the game I actually enjoyed.
There's actually a few of them. The first one is when we played DUT.
Sure.
The second one, well, there's three actually.
Sure.
The first one was against DUT. The second one was when I came on as a substitute in the NWU game.
Okay.
And the third one was the NWU game in the semi-final.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you look at those games, what sticks out in those games? What's that one thing that says, yeah, this is why I enjoyed this game?
Well, I think what sticks out is that I was able to do my best in order to help the team win, And I feel as if I gave it my all, I gave it my best. And that's the important thing, helping the team win and making sure that you give your best when you get into the field.
Yeah. And now coming back, your performances in that competition put your name out there for people to know, hey, there's this guy from Tuks. There's this guy, hey, we must look out for Camagu. Camagu is a strong player. And then you get selected for the FNB Varsity Player Experience. You've spent a week in Cape Town. We were saying you guys brought some good weather to Cape Town. Yeah, you had some rain, but hey, you guys have been fortunate to have some good weather over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But when you look at this whole experience now that you've had this week in Cape Town, how's the week been? What's been the standout for you?
It's really been a good week. It has been a very good experience.
Sure.
Learned a lot of new things during this week. It's actually every day. We learn every day.
Sure.
Every day there's something new that you learn. And yeah, I'm just delightful that I'm here. And I'm grateful to FNB and the Varsity Cup and also Cape Town City for offering us the platform for us to experience this.
Sure. Yeah. And, looking forward, actually, before we even go look forward, let's look at this experience. I mean, you guys have had talks about content creation. You've had talks about managing yourself as a brand and as a player, time management. You've had all of these conversations, and you've had time to even speak to former professional football players that have played the sport professionally like you would want to play one day. When you look at everything that you've learned, what's that one lesson that you pick out, or that one workshop you're like, hey, I actually enjoyed this thing?
Actually, it was the one we had the other day about branding yourself.
Sure.
Yeah, we had a workshop about branding yourself, and they were talking about us as footballers. What can we do in order to make sure that we actually brand ourselves in a way that even when we retire, or even when we don't make it as far as we think we can make it, what can we do after that? And it was actually educational.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And, now taking all of that experience that you've learned and looking forward, what are the dreams and aspirations that you have for yourself now coming out of this competition?
Firstly, football-wise,
Yeah.
I'd like to make sure that I give it my best in everything that I do. And I'd like to make sure that there's nothing that I do other than football, and I concentrate more. And secondly, with what we've learned here, I'd like to make sure that I brand myself. I use myself in a manner of which I can make my own income. I can get several incomes from several things. And I make sure that if ever I go and make it pro, I need to make sure that even when I retire, I have something to fall back on.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. Now, listen, it's so nice listening to you speak about the lessons that you've learned in this tournament and this experience over the past week. But if we speak specifically now in football and becoming a professional player, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years' time?
Well, firstly, I weigh my goals like 2 years, 4 years.
Sure.
So in the next 2 years, I want to see myself in the Betway Premiership,
Sure.
playing for one of the best teams and making sure that I play regularly. And then after that, obviously, I can't just think, no, I've made it for just playing in the Betway Premiership. And then after that, it's making it abroad and having a good spell abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Camagu, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your story with us on the African Playbook Network.
Yeah.
We really, really, really appreciate it. And you know what? You can always count on us that you've always got a fan in us. We'll support you all the way. And we look forward to seeing you in the Betway Premiership and going all the way actually to represent this country and the national team, and more especially taking us to a World Cup. Do you think you can take us to a World Cup?
Definitely.
Nice one, man. Listen, thank you very much, and we wish you all of the best going forward with your career, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Hey, guys. Thank you very much for watching yet another episode of the African Playbook Network. We really appreciate you taking your time to watch this episode. Please do share in the comments what you enjoyed about the episode, where you're listening to the episode from, and let us know anything that you want to share with us. Please make use of the comment section. If you really enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit the like button. Let us know that you enjoyed the episode. And don't forget as well, if you haven't hit that subscription button or you haven't followed us, please do hit that button. We'd love to hear more from you guys. And don't forget, click on the link below and you'll find all of our social media pages. Hit follow, like, subscribe, do your thing.